basketball on the Mountain West Networks is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming. Well, it's mid-November, and we have a lot to be thankful for. And how about this? Some college basketball at LARAMIE, Wyoming, right inside AA Arena Auditorium. We have a fantastic non-conference battle for you as the Utah Tech Trailblazers take on the Wyoming Cowboys. And good evening, everyone. I'm Justin Adams, along with my partner, Daryl Jacobs. And Daryl, anytime you talk about non-conference play, especially in today's day, it's all about seeing how can your team be able to glue together.
Not only that, we're talking about today's culture. It's all about transfers and chemistry, and this is why you play those non-league games to develop that chemistry for conference play.
Well, this is a very important game for Wyoming as they lost against Texas Tech the last time out. So a great opportunity for them to get a W, but they're going to have to stop a really good guard as we take a look as our players to keep an eye on today. And we have two tremendous guards. On one side, you have Noa Gonsalves. On the other side, Obi Agbim averaging 21 points a game.
Gonsalves, a 6'1" senior returning starter from last season. He's a scorer. He can attack off the bounce, and he's been their most consistent offensive threat this season. On the other side of the ledger, Mr. Agbim, as we call him, as well, the 6'3" senior from Aurora, Colorado, among the nation leaders in scoring and three-point shooting. He's a three-level scorer. He can handle and distribute the basketball. They're going to really count on him this evening.
I think what's really impressive is he's averaged 63% from the field. He is doing fantastic on the field. Also had 15 points against Texas Tech, the only player in double figures for the Wyoming Cowboys. So we'll see if the Cowboys can be able to get the W at home, or will it be the Trailblazers going on the road to pull off the upset? Starting lineups and also the tip coming up next.
A stroke is a physical event and an emotional event.
It's our job to encourage them when they are down.
We really focus on individualizing everything to that specific person and what they need from us.
You need people to care, and you need them around you. And that's what the area was, a safe place to be.
At the University of Wyoming, ideas come to life. It's where the spirit of innovation and boundless curiosity fuel our hunger for knowledge. It's where the past meets the present and our students shape a brighter future.
I'm a student athlete.
I'm a musician. I'm a mentor.
And I'm a cowboy.
The world needs more cowboys.
And we welcome you back inside Arena Auditorium. A beautiful look at the Dome of Doom. And it has been a fantastic place for the Wyoming Cowboys to play as they look to improve to 3-1 this season. Let's go to the keys of the game. And Daryl, you know, Coach, I mean, it's pretty simple. You got to protect the basketball if you're Wyoming.
No doubt about it. They got to score the basketball. They've been not shooting that well this season. But again, they're defending the basketball pretty well as well. And you talk about on the other side of the ledger for the Utah Tech Trailblazers, they got to score the basketball. They only shoot 36% from the floor in the year. And both teams come in not really shooting the free throw pretty well. But for Wyoming, the Cowboys really got to minimize those turnovers because they're averaging close to 15 a ball game.
Well, you talk about both teams not shooting well. How about this? Utah Tech only shooting 60% from the free throw line, while Wyoming only shooting 56%. Let's take a look at our starting lineups, and we'll start with the Wyoming Cowboys. Kobe Newton, Obi Agbim, Jordan Nesbitt, Cole Henry, and we'll round everything out for the starting lineups for the Cowboys. Should be a fantastic job by those young men. And then on the opposite side, you look at Riley, Bean, Beaker, Bird, Gonsalves to round out the starting lineup. So you look at head coach John Judkins in his 20th year with the Utah Tech Trailblazers. He's been literally an institution there for the Trailblazers. On the opposite side, Sundance Wicks, first season on the job. Good to see the assistant coach back at home in Wyoming.
No doubt about it. Utah Tech forming Dixie State.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back at the RMAC. As the women Cowboys will come out in their white tops, white bottoms. Utah Tech in their navy blue tops, navy blue bottoms, and red numbering. And we are off at Arena Auditorium. Should be a fantastic game tonight. So glad that you could be able to join us on the Mountain West Network, and immediately going into the paint. Wyoming not able to go and get that one to fall on the first shot of the day. Cole Henry.
You know how I feel about those paint touches. You got to touch those paint, get those touches inside to give yourself a good chance to win. Great backdoor cut right there off the flex screen.
Well, something that Wyoming will have to keep an eye on today, talking to Sundance Wicks yesterday, he mentioned it's going to be very important for us to be able to just be sticky defensively. Long three by Gonsalves, that's off left and out of play.
And that's one of the things to emphasize. He knows he's coming in. This team is not defending well, particularly against Texas Tech. Texas Tech shot the ball extremely well, 63% from the floor, 55 from three. And he wants to recover from that, but they also got to take care of the basketball. They turned the ball over 25 times against the Red Raiders.
You just saw this of how Utah Tech just dominated Bethesda their last time out, winning that one 90-59. And a nice good start there by Kobe Newton with the two.
And that's what you got to do. You got to get in the lane, get those paint touches, get those high percentage shots.
Good to see Kobe be able to go and get on the scoreboard. Had 10 points. A nice shot, able to get that one to fall. Beon Riley able to get it to go.
I'll tell you, the thing about the Trailblazers, Utah Tech, Justin, they're shooting 45% inside the three-point line.
How about Agbim? He's not shy. Mid-range J is good.
One of the top scorers in the nation early this season so far. He's shooting a blistering 63% from the three-point line, one of the tops in the nation.
Well, Coach, you just see just how active he is. The transfer from Fort Lewis. He was the RMAC tournament MVP. Able to lead Fort Lewis to the NCAA tournament. Turnaround J, no good on the hook shot. And here comes Wyoming with it.
Yeah, he had a monster game.
Got to keep an eye on Cole Henry. He's not doing too good, and he's limping his way up the floor. And now he's going to come out. You never want to see that.
And sometimes the initial shock of the pain makes it seem more worse than what it is. So he's limping off a little bit. He might be able to walk it off, as you can see already beginning to walk it off a little bit better right there. Just see the replay right there. Watch how he trips it. Like he got caught, his foot got caught under the opposing player's foot. And I think he's going to be all right.
He's walking his way up the tunnel. We'll keep an eye on him. And we'll give you any updates as we find one. Just 2 minutes into this one, Wyoming up by 2.
And they're trying to go inside, trying to get that paint touch inside. If nothing happens, then watch Agbim.
7 seconds on the clock. Agbim going to work. He'll get the harm, won't get the and one. But my goodness, look at that speed from the young man, able to go and get to the line from Aurora, Colorado.
I'll tell you, when in doubt, give him the basketball. He's what we call the professional scorer. Watch him come off the screen right here. Change speeds, and that's what you got to do. If you can change speeds and you're super quick, you just become that more tougher to guard. He was able to attack the rim and draw the foul.
You say three-level scorer. What does that mean when you say three-level scorer?
Well, you score inside, finishing at the rim, mid-range game, and then the three-point shot. That's a three-level scorer.
Agbim scored 15 points against Texas Tech, the only player in double figures, but he also had 6 turnovers. And it's one of the things Coach Wicks was mentioning, just how we have to protect the basketball. Coach, you said they had 25 turnovers?
25 turnovers against the Red Raiders. And the great thing about playing those non-league games, it gets you prepared. But then again, as I mentioned at the top of the telegraph, it's all about the transfers and developing chemistry.
And it's all about knocking down the triple as well. Just the second three-point made field goal this year by Beon Riley brings in the Trailblazers to 1.
One thing Coach Jenkins wanted to do, he wanted his team to begin to shoot the basketball well. He knows he's going to come out that slump.
Riley with all 5 points. You got to keep an eye on him. And sometimes you know, especially in the open, you say, hey, we got to keep an eye on this guy. We got to look at Noa Gonsalves. Well, he has only 1 field goal attempt, and it's another guard that has 5 points so far. 4 seconds on the clock. A long three. That almost went in from Casper. Not so, but there will be a foul on the floor as Ole Coyones was harmed on that play.
I tell you, Coyette's doing a great job posting inside. We had a couple of games last year, like he done bulked up a little bit, put on some size and some weight inside. He did a real good job sealing, especially getting to the offensive glass. He was able to draw the foul.
Foul on Samuel Aribi. That's his first personal foul. We'll have a couple of substitutions as well. And this is one thing that Utah Tech talked about, is that they're going to have a lot of different substitutions in this game. Even though you're in great shape, you're in great basketball shape, anytime you're playing a basketball game, 7,000 feet above sea level, kind of hurt your lungs a little bit.
I tell you what, I returned from Jersey. I worked out in New Jersey, and I came back here, got in Denver, Colorado, started to work out. I felt the altitude immediately. I was like, oh, my God, as you see, Coyette draws the foul.
And going down to the floor was Toku Taramo.
Yeah, he comes over from the University of Denver. I had a couple of his games last year when I did a couple of games at Northern Colorado. He was a fantastic player.
What do you like about his game?
I tell you, he can go inside out, and he's a veteran, and he's played against some high-level competition. So anytime you get a veteran that started, and that's a good play along the baseline side. You got it in the short corner against the 2-3 zone. That's where you got to tackle that, along the baseline side or in the high post.
And just a little bunny, right? Nothing wrong with a little floater.
Absolutely. And that's a hard shot today. That's mid-range game is a lost art.
Gonsalves spinning around looking for some help. Get it to Riley. He has all 5 points for the Trailblazers. Looking for 7. That's a little too strong. And off the hands of Wyoming, Jordan Nesbitt initially said, I didn't touch it. But yes, you did touch that ball. It goes out of bounds.
Well, that's always. They never commit anything. Don't make mistakes here. But Utah Tech has 6 players returning, 2 starters, and 10 newcomers.
And here's one of them. Gonsalves kicks it off in the corner for 3. Couldn't get the kind roll. On the missed shot was Akeem Bird. Here comes Agbim, the transfer from Fort Lewis University. Second time in back-to-back years, Wyoming was able to get back-to-back transfers for Fort Lewis. And we'll have a foul as Kobe Newton was taking it to the cup. That will be the 3rd team foul on the Trailblazers. But so far, so good for Wyoming. Up by 3 with 15:57 to go.
Hey Cowboy fans, it's Logan Wilson of the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm so proud to call Wyoming my home. There's no place like our state, and there are no fans like you. I need your help supporting the next generation of Wyoming Cowboys and Cowgirls. I'm asking you to join me in supporting the 307 campaign to support NIL efforts here at 7220. When you give, you're empowering student athletes to ignite statewide change. You can learn more by visiting 1wyo.org. Go Pokes!
I've probably been there 10 minutes, maybe 15. It wasn't very long. And then my heart stopped. The next thing I knew, I woke up, they hooked me all up, said, yeah, it's a heart attack. I've not been in very many emergency rooms other than LARAMIE's, but I'm really impressed with this group. It's great care there, just outstanding care there. They jumped into action and brought me back to life. So it was amazing.
In the heart of downtown Las Vegas, a sports oasis awaits. Stadium Swim, the ultimate outdoor amphitheater, built for the ultimate sports fan, with a colossal screen that brings the game closer than ever. Reserve a daybed, private cabana, or lounge in the center of it all. 6 pools to dive into as the game heats up. And the best part, there's never an off season. Open 365 days a year. Stadium Swim, it's always spectator season.
Well, this is the second time these two teams have battled one another. The last time they played was back in 2018, and it was a thriller down to the last couple of moments. How about this? A game-winning triple for the Wyoming Cowboys to get the W over Utah Tech. Final score 65-63. What a win for the Cowboys then, and we can only hope that we see something similar today.
Well, I thought you was going to do Michael Jackson when you said Thriller.
Well, we did just pass up on Halloween a little bit ago, but yes, this is the second meeting between these two teams. And so far has been pretty well for Wyoming. They're doing a really good job of making sure that Noa Gonsalves isn't having any points, any success on the court, but you also got to keep an eye on some other players as well, especially Beon Riley with 5.
No doubt about it. He's a fantastic player. Again, this team has been struggling offensively on the year, as we mentioned, coming in shooting 36% from the floor and only 23% from 3. But inside that 3-point line, the Trailblazers are shooting 45%.
As Kobe Newton makes the second, he missed the first one, makes the score 9-5. We have another substitution. And coming in would be Dante Allen. So Allen will come back in a game. Newton will sit down for a bit. And you're seeing a lot of substitutions from both sides. Both teams really going to say, okay, let's go and keep our guys fresh as much as possible.
Not only that, you're working on chemistry, developing chemistry, as Coach Wicks had alluded to, as you see, long jump shot there, as he alluded to. You're trying to find exactly where you're at, what lineups work, developing chemistry. And it's all over college basketball where teams are really struggling sometimes out the gate, trying to find that chemistry.
Another thing, too, Coach Wicks was talking about is, hey, we may see a small lineup, just something you want to put out on film, be able to work on. And that's really what non-conference is all about. Is Agbim with a step back. Couldn't get the mid-range J to fall. Nice rebound. Here comes Riley. It's falling to the turf. Looked like that's Nesbitt. Leads to a wide-open three. Off the mark. Rebound by the Cowboys. Britton Barrett with the miss.
I'll tell you, this team has really been struggling shooting the basketball. They're 342nd in the nation in field goal percentage. So if you can't put the ball in the hole, you're going to continue to struggle.
But what type of things can you do? Sometimes you just shoot out of it, or what do you do as a former coach? What do you tell them?
You got to get some paint touches as well. They're shooting 45% inside the three-point line. So start to focus, work your way inside out instead of outside in.
Agbim with 3 seconds on the shot clock had to go and force that one up. No good, and the ball will go out of bounds. Yet again, we see a couple of substitutions for Utah Tech.
Then again, for both teams, if you ain't got nobody, if your offense doesn't work, and I was a coach and I learned this from Mike Fratello and all the guys I've been fortunate to come up under, you got to find your guy that can get you a basket, that can create as well, because a lot of times your stuff is not going to work, and you need some guys that's going to be creative for you as well.
Who are some guys you see that could be that type of player for Utah Tech?
Well, I think
Noa
Gonsalves can be he was their leading scorer. Yeah, he averaged 12 points a game last year. He's averaging 14 this year as well.
11 seconds on the shot clock. Nesbitt. Obi Agbim back to Nesbitt. Nesbitt now with the drive. Wants to get it down to that paint touch like you say so. Spin around Jay. Not good right there. Off the mark as Magassa couldn't get that one to go. And here comes Utah Tech quickly up the court. Tennessee Rainwater will go and get his first 2 points. I can't tell you how excited I was to say that name, okay?
The best name in college basketball.
Tennessee Rainwater.
Tennessee Rainwater, yes, people.
Now, you won't believe it, but he's from Davenport, Washington.
Yes,
not Tennessee.
The goaltend right there by the Cowboys.
9-7 is our score. Cowboys up by 2. Wyoming shooting just 33%, 3 of 9 from the floor.
Got to look at the basket right there, big fella. That's a free throw.
Really good defense being applied. Agbim now going into his bag, spinning around, looking for some help. Somehow got that deep down under the paint in 5 seconds.
Another shot clock. They're coming down towards the end.
Forced up shot, no good, but nice rebound by Magassa.
Magassa, I tell you, he was open at the foul line. If he gets it there again, he needs to shoot the basketball. That's a good drive right there, and that's what you got to do. Attack the basket, get those paint touches, either to create for yourself to score or kick it out to a teammate.
Yeah, Allen will go to the line to shoot 2. The 15th foul already on Utah Tech, and actually that's going to be on the floor. But you see just the rebound again, Magassa going up strong. But just like what you said there, Coach, there's a difference between wanting to get the ball and go back up strong, or you're just kind of retreating in many respects. And that's something that the young man will learn. As Newton gets the miss.
That's another offensive rebound.
The shot clock didn't reset because that missed everything. So Agbim going to work on a screen and roll. Gives it up. Newton for 3. No good. Rebound by Utah Tech. Here comes the Trailblazers quickly up court, as Wyoming hasn't made a bucket in the last 2:30. But Utah Tech strikes home with a 3. Noa Gonsalves welcomes himself to Arena Auditorium with the first triple of the day for him.
I tell you, he's their leading scorer at 14 points a game, as I mentioned at the top of the telecast. They're going to really rely on him to set the tempo.
Wyoming going through a scoring drought, and Agbim says enough of that. Before that made 3, Wyoming was just 1 of 7 from that last field goal tries. Nice 3 there.
And that's not an accident. Fluid motion, shooting 63% on the young season from 3, as you see. Cowboys come up with the steal.
Well, Allen taking it down the lane. Euro step. Yes, sir, with the layup.
That's a pro move right there. Body him off and got to the rack. Was able to score.
We call that weight room where I'm from. 14-10 is our score. Wyoming quickly on a 5-0 run. It's something that you really, Coach Wicks wants to see this team do as a beautiful, nice block. Out of nowhere, Magassa says, not today.
I tell you, he's a good athlete.
Tanamo with the take to the rim. He shoots it off the right hand. No good. And Magassa, love the hustle by this young man. Can't say enough about Abu Magassa.
I tell you, the block down at the other end, the rebound, the offensive rebound at the other end, the hustle play right there. Those are the things that may not show up in the box score, but these are the things that help you win, as you can see. And watch the offensive rebound right here. Watch the save. Good job.
Magassa, one of those players who you just look up and Coach Wicks says he is defensively improving every day. And how about that pass? The lay-in by Newton. Cowboys on a 7-0 run.
That's a good look over the zone. Able to attack it along the baseline area.
A little bit of a dangerous time if you're Utah Tech, and they really needed a whistle just to be able to settle things down. Will be the first team foul on the Wyoming Cowboys. But a 7-0 run by Wyoming, set up by beautiful passes just like this.
Credit Union One offers everything you need to get the most out of your accounts every day. With digital banking, you can pay bills online, set up personalized budgeting tools, easily transfer money between accounts, and more. Plus, you can get paid up to 2 days sooner when you set up direct deposit. Get started at cu1.com.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Trapper Beefs. Energy emergency. Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Cowboys up by 6, and it all has to do with a 7-0 run over the last 66 seconds.
Not only that, 7-0 run. Moving the basketball pretty well, knocking down over 3, as you can see. Agbim knocking down the 3 right there. I mean, good ball movement. That's a nice backdoor cut. This is a great block by Magassa. And watch it here, great pass over the top, catching Newton along the baseline. That's what you got to do right there. And when you got a tall point at the point, can see over the defense, it's easy to do.
Sundance Wicks, first season on the job, or first year on the job rather, was at a coaching clinic when he received the call to see if he was interested to take the Wyoming job, and he happily said yes. Had 48 hours to make a decision. Coach, think about that. 48 hours to say, are you going to go from Green Bay and come back home? Talked it over with his wife, and of course, they all felt very peaceful about the decision and agreed to go.
We're going to share a little bit of story about when he first got here.
Oh, yeah.
What most coaches like I've been through as well as a head coach as well.
Just a spoiler alert. He didn't stay at a Motel 6, I'll put it that way.
Not absolutely.
Baseline J is up by Newton, misses absolutely everything. With 1 second to go on the shot clock, we'll have a travel violation. By the way, the last shot was knocked home by Noa Gonsalves. He now has 5.
I tell you, Gonsalves is a good player. You can see why he was there. Second leading scorer last year and leading in scoring this year.
Looks a little confused right now offensively of what to do, trying to get open. Newton being assigned to guard him.
They got to find somebody else to score. They're trying to get in the side, but you got to get those paint touches.
There's Toure giving it up, and that's a, as you say, just a free throw shot for a second, step back, and that's good. Noa Gonsalves started off very slow in this game, but you look up, he has another field goal. How about this, 7 points?
I tell you, that's a nice paint touch right there. Able to step back dribble, able to get the shot off.
Nesbitt had the ball, lost it, and that's going to be double dribble.
And that's the correct call right there by the official.
Well, turnovers was one point of emphasis for the Cowboys, just to make sure that they didn't turn over the ball. You got to take care of it, especially after having 25 turnovers. Well, that's their second turnover so far in this one.
They're doing a pretty good job taking care of the basketball thus far. Well, both teams do. I tell you, the Trailblazers come in only averaging 10 turnovers a game. So they get a lot of shot attempts up among the nation leaders in shot attempts. They just can't score the basketball.
Toure, nice head fake. Oh, gives it up, and the big man wasn't looking for it.
That's a great look inside. Got to be ready for that big fella, but that's a nice penetration. Nice dump off.
Try to give it to Pavle Mishik.
And you said that good, partner.
No, you got to practice it a little bit. Anytime you're a fan of a team like Nikola Jokic, it kind of helps you out a little bit, right? Agbim, nice guard by Toure.
Yeah, good job by Toure. Not letting him get the paint touch. Got some size right here. Advantage.
Just not able to connect. Looks like they're forcing up a couple of shots. Wyoming now 6 of 18 from the floor. In the corner, 3. That's no good off the front iron, but getting his own rebound. And nice pass right underneath. And that's to Beon Riley. And with that being said, Sundance Wicks calls a timeout. He is all over Nesbitt.
And I tell you, you're getting to see the momentum swing. Gonsalves has been leading the charge thus far, getting those paint touches. And now with a lot of hustle plays coming up by the Trailblazers. As you see, watch the step back right there. That's a nice move by Gonsalves right there. He gets the shooter bounce. He's doing a fantastic job. And watch the pass right here. Good dump off inside. And again, on the telecast, you're going to keep hearing me say the paint touches is so important. Then you get a high percent of shots right there. That'll help your field goal percentage if you can continue to get shots at the rim like that.
Well, I'm curious to why, and I'm looking at a couple of baskets. They're right under the rim, but it was Jordan Nesbitt who was getting the wrath of Coach Wicks. What did you see out there was the reason why you say, hey, well, Jordan, you got to change up a couple of things?
Well, you know what? He didn't box out, number one. You got to box out. They give him a second chance opportunity. Now, the Trailblazers come in 65th in the country in offensive rebound. They're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. But thus far in this game, the Cowboys is winning that battle.
Wyoming going through another scoring drought. Haven't scored in the last 2:30. Actually, look at your field goal. They're 5 of their last 7. That's the way that Utah Tech is. But Agbim says, hey, let me go and take care of that run right now with the second 3 of the day. He now has 10.
Now that's like a layup to him. Again, he comes in shooting 63% from the three-point line. And that's like a layup. You can't leave that young man open.
It's interesting to see his transition from Division I to Division II as Toure with the layup. It just hits rim and hits nothing else. And here comes the Cowboys.
So he's made the great transition as a lot of Division II players going up to Division I level across the country and really playing some high major basketball, as you see.
So foul on the floor. That'll be the 16th foul on Utah Tech. Well, we've seen some guys really be able to make some hay as we take a look one more time at this three-point shot by Agbim. Wide open, nobody there. And, Coach, I believe you said you had a rule for your players. If there's nobody around and you're playing at the D1 level, you should be able to knock that down.
Oh, yeah. If you're wide open, you get a wide open look, you're a scholarship player. You got to knock down that shot. You know, we don't want you stealing no money. But you got to knock down that shot. Any good player knock down that shot. In today's game, everybody's capable of knocking down those three-point shots.
Well, especially with NIL, you definitely don't want to be stealing any money.
Absolutely.
19-16, Cowboys up by 3.
Got to get got to penetrate. Got to try to get the paint touch.
Wills, a little contact, but can't hit any of the rim on that one. Not a good possession there by Wyoming.
I'll tell you what, a couple of times Wyoming thus far in the game, as you notice, Justin, the shot clock, they've been coming down late in the shot clock, less than 5 seconds before they decide to do something. And as a result, sometimes it forces them to take a bad shot, or sometimes it forces a player that normally don't shoot to shoot the basketball.
And also, as a result, Wills is going to find himself on the bench as Coach Wicks is having a little bit of a conversation with him. And that's really something that I love to see from him. And Coach Wicks, where you just see the enthusiasm. He's not sitting back on his laurels. He's always teaching to these young men, trying to implement a system in real time throughout these games.
No doubt about that. And that's why he's here.
Utah Tech giving up to Birds. We get it around. Gonsalves with the head fake. Gets rid of one man. Back to Grant for 3. That's way off the mark. Dallin Grant, a redshirt freshman from Cedar City, Utah, a transfer from Utah Tech. That's his second three-point attempt this year. And as you could believe it, he hasn't hit a three-point shot this year.
But that was a great pass by Gonsalves. You know, he got the shot fake up in the air, got the man to jump, penetrate, drew his man. He was able to kick it to the wide open guy who shot an air ball.
Well, once again, Wyoming taking their sweet time to get into their possession, but this time the layup is good. Cole Henry coming back from that ankle injury. He said, put some tape on it, coach, and put me back in the game for 2.
That's a nice roll right there. Nice finish by Cole Henry inside.
Cowboys up by 5. Great defense there by Henry, and we got a turnover. Here come the Cowboys with it. Dante Allen. Slowing things down is Agbim, being guarded by Gonsalves. Love to see this guard-on-guard play. Step back, give it back to Allen. Newton with 16 on the clock. He'll take it, and he'll get the harm. We have foul on Grant. Now let's see, will that be a 1-and-1 or will that be 2 shots?
That's a 1-and-1, I believe. That's on the floor, I believe. They're going to give it to him on the floor.
Will be the 17th foul on Utah Tech. So when we come back, well, the Cowboys will be shooting the 1-and-1, up by 5.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best, because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
Ah, Sunday.
Just gotta steam it, babe.
Time to suit up.
Like half zip, kind of quarter zip guy.
Sacrifice your lawn and your skin's ability to breathe.
Does that look cheater looking?
No, it's full jag.
Easy, Chief. Let your razzle-dazzle on the field, the bar, or your best friend's nuptials.
So the Buffalo Bills, guys.
No matter how hard you football, it's easy to Sunday.
What's riding on the show, but driving is just about everything. It's about duty, it's about pride, it's about freedom, it's about your life. Don't risk it, drive sober.
Cowboys up by 5, 21-16 over Utah Tech. And you know what, Coach? When you look at one of the things you have to do if you want to be successful is you got to grab those boards, and that's exactly what the Cowboys are doing so far.
I'll tell you, they have 15 rebounds, 7 are offensive rebounds. But when you look at second chance points, Justin, they only converted 4. 4 points off those 7 opportunities they've gotten. So they've been not able to convert. And luckily for them, you know, they're able to shoot the basketball at a higher percentage rate than the Trailblazers this afternoon, rather this evening. But at the same time, you got to convert, get those second chance points if you get those offensive rebounds.
Well, anytime you have number 5 in the lineup, you're doing pretty good. Agbim with 10 points, perfect from the floor so far. Actually, he's 3 of 5, excuse me. 2 of 2 from downtown. That's where he's perfect from. You take a look at John Judkins, an institution at Utah Tech, as Newton shoots the first free throw and knocks it home. But John Judkins, 20 years on the job at Utah Tech. Must be nice as a coach, right?
Well, absolutely. I lasted over 20 years as a head coach, you know, as well. But, you know, former Dick State, what a great coach at the Division II level. And he's really, really done a great job transitioning program to the Division I level.
What is the difficulty of going from D2 to D1? How are you able to go and transform your program rather, to be successful with 12 seconds on the clock?
Well, it's the talent level. You know, it becomes a different talent level altogether. You got to get those players who can help you win basketball games. You know, of course, you can't get D2 players to play D1.
How about nice job defensively by Henry, giving up Newton for 3. Bombs away. Kobe Newton for 3.
And that's a
timeout by Utah Tech.
And that's a great pass by Agbim, able to find his partner, able to knock down a wide open 3. And as we mentioned about transitioning from D2, look at the defense right here. Comes up with the steal. Good job right there. Now watch him find him. Great pass. Watch the kick back to his partner. Great look. Gooseneck kept the gooseneck up there, able to knock down the three-point shot. And that's great basketball right there. Backcourt mates looking for one another. And last year, Wyoming had arguably the best backcourt in the Mountain West Conference, and these two guys seem to be following suit for Coach Wicks.
Well, remember Paul Cobb, able to hit a couple of game winners last year. He's now playing overseas professionally. Also a transfer from Fort Lewis. Something about those guys in Fort Lewis, huh?
Well,
if I was
a college coach, in this day with the transfer portals, you don't have to sit up. Back in the day, a D2 player trying to come up to D1 had to sit out. I'll go find them. And there's a lot of Division II players are playing high major college basketball and contributing to their ball clubs.
One of the more famous guys is Derek White at the University of Colorado. Won a ring with the Boston Celtics and also was able to win a gold medal with Team USA. That shot is off by Bird, and here comes Wyoming on a 10-0 run over the last 3 minutes and be stripped out of bounds. Great job by Gonsalves.
I tell you, nice change of speed by Agbim right there, getting to the right, but good defense by Gonsalves. You're looking at two of the better guards in the country for their respective team, and an easy pass inside right there.
Peekaboo, I see a very easy shot under the basket. Nobody in navy blue was paying attention. And the biggest lead of the day for the Cowboys, up by a dozen.
That means you have no verbals. And if you don't hear people talking on the floor out there, see, that's a good contest right there.
Well, the defense is really picking up for the Cowboys. 12-0 run over the last 3:30. Up by a dozen. Things have turned around for this team. All started defensively. Allen with it. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Give it up to Newton, using the screen. Newton for three. Oh, he can't get the kind roll. Try to get the members bounce. Here comes Bird quickly up court. Bird poked away. Outlet pass to Newton, and he's going to lay it home. Puts that one to bed. The Cowboys on a 14-0 run.
And that's a drill you practice. Slap from behind drill. He slapped it to his partner. He's able to take off. Agbim, the backcourt of Agbim and Newton is playing very well this evening.
Well, you look at this team compared to last year, Coach, and they just look very athletic. Might not have the shooting touch all the way around as the team did last year, but very athletic. Almost another steal, and oh, Allen accidentally slammed home on the wrong rim.
And I tell you, that's a hustle play right there. If I'm coach, I wouldn't be upset at the young man because he made the attempt. He was hustling, but unfortunately, he knocked it in the wrong basket.
Well, you got to make that one up, right, Dante? You got to go and hit a three on the other end, right? Swing it around. Here comes Newton. He'll say, I'll shoot the three, and I'll knock home the triple.
And I tell you, one of the best three-point shooters. This backcourt, Agbim and Newton, it's going to be a tough out or a problem to deal with in the Mountain West Conference. Great pass. Nice follow-through by Newton.
Newton's second three of the day. He now has 15. Swung around. Gonsalves trying to respond, and he can't do it. Rebound by the Cowboys. Tanamo with it.
And
Gives it up to Newton with 15.
And again, the Trailblazers are not shooting the basketball well.
17-2 run over the last 5:30. Allen, he's going to go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1 as the foul will be on Hunter Skank. That's his first personal foul. Team fourth, as the Cowboys are doing everything right on the floor, especially getting the ball into the hands of number 2, who has 15, as the Cowboys are up by that score.
Wyoming is a place of unlimited potential, a place that inspires us to dream. Since 2014, Wyo Lotto has given back over $180 million to our great state through transfers, winnings, commissions, and more. Dollars that have gone directly into your cities, towns, and counties. Dollars that have changed lives and set dreams in motion. Thank you, Wyoming, for a legendary 10 years. We can't wait to dream up what's next.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. We're deeply invested in our communities, supporting local charities and initiatives that uplift those in need. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust. Service you can count on.
You can tell a lot by the operation, by their employees, and Wyoming Machinery has great people.
Wyoming Machinery has put together a crew that really cares about the small business, and they've always been there for me.
There's a level of excellence that they operate at, from sales to service to the parts guys. The reliability of the CAT equipment just makes it so that day in and day out we can complete projects without having downtime on equipment.
Cowboys are on a 17-2 run over the last 5 minutes and 30 seconds, and it all has to do with number 2 on the score sheet.
I tell you, he's playing a fantastic game. Not only scoring inside right there, look at the kick out back from Agbim. Watch the gooseneck follow through. As we say, bang, bang. Great pass. Another great pass. Look at the follow through. I tell you, he's shooting the basketball really well.
And you know what? That makes one person happy. How about Vicky Newton? That's Mama Bear right there.
And she's looking at us.
Mom, you got to look at that camera over there.
Look at the camera. There you go. Wave, everybody.
There you go. We have you on TV. That's Vicky Newton, by the way. And Mama Bear, as I like to call her, she flew all the way from Portland, Oregon in order to see her son put up 15 points in the first half.
I tell you, there's a lot more coming from him at this pace.
And Utah Tech trying to respond. Noa Gonsalves missing a 3. And just like you said, Coach, they have some really good looks that just aren't falling down. Trailblazers are now 36% from the floor.
I tell you, I think people forget 2 points count as well. Those 2 high percentage shots inside the 3 can really help you.
Well, Gonsalves had a layup, decided to kick it out. 3:25 to go in the first half. Skank with the take. And he'll shovel it off to the end, but it'll be a foul on the floor. Just the second team foul on the Cowboys. They've been physical today, but they've been playing clean.
I'll tell you what, not only they've been playing clean, but also the Trailblazers are helping them by not their inability to score the basketball. Yep. You know, they're getting wide open looks. They're just not knocking the shots down. As we mentioned, they're shooting 45% inside the 3-point line, but only 23% from 3. So you got to try to figure it out. If you're Coach Juxon, you got to be honest with you guys and say, hey, maybe this is just not our game.
Oh, man, that's
you got to shoot high percentage shots, and the shot clock does not start over because it didn't hit rim.
Riley gets that poked away, and it's out of bounds. Who will have it? It will stay here with the Trailblazers. But that kind of makes your point of one thing that you're talking about, Coach, where you just look around and say, hey, wait, let's get some quality looks rather than trying to force some shots up.
But not only that, you got to get out in transition as well. They're a good rebounding team, so you can get out in transition, get you some early offense, particularly when you're struggling. And that's just a bad pass right there.
Off the hands of Gonsalves. Here comes Wills with it. He'll lay it home.
And points off turnovers at the disparity. Right now it's 11-2 with that bucket by the Cowboys. And that's a 6th turnover by the Trailblazers. They only come in averaging 10. And the Cowboys are really taking care of the basketball. They only got 3 turnovers.
19-2 run over the last 6:30, and Riley forces his way home. Oh, we'll say he muscles his way there, and that stops a run. It's now a 19-4 run over the last 6:40.
Well, they're going to have to do a whole lot of that this evening. They're going to give themselves a chance to win the ball game.
Again, the Trailblazers only shooting 38% from the floor. Wyoming, on the other hand, shooting 46. Nesbitt stepped back, and he misses absolutely everything.
The coach is not happy with that. He's probably going to come out the game for that shot. Just not a good shot right there.
Well, forgive me for laughing, but I'm looking at Coach Wicks, and the first thing that he says is, "What's that?"
And to see the steal and basket right there.
Yeah.
Off the turnover right there. But, yeah, that's not his game. Plus, he had size on the defender. He could have gotten the paint and shot over, and that does just come with experience and understanding the mismatches that you have.
Nesbitt ranks 3rd in rebounding in the Mountain West. As Toure with the mid-range J, no good. And here comes Agbim. I think Agbim, he has a green light. Every team has a player who has a green light. But anytime you have a nice pass like that in a jam, man, that's a great green light, huh?
You see why Agbim leads them in scoring, 3-point shooting, and assists. Great pass right there. Good roll.
Can't stop a nice pass. And look at the Cowboys up by 17. Skank off the glass. Couldn't get that one to fall, but he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And I'll tell you, I guess that ankle ain't hurting Cole Henry right now. That's a great finish right there at the rim. Tear down the rim. Watch the dunk right here. Great finish, great pass by Agbim. And he really slams it down with authority, and that could take a lot out of the team. And he grabs the rim as he's coming down to serve. Notice that, hey, not only did I slam the basketball, I'm going to grab the rim and profile a little bit and go back down the floor.
What we call that style in the profile. Right?
Absolutely.
That's what he does as Skank hits the first free throw. Now coming in for Utah Tech is Tennessee Rainwater. Tell you what, Rainwater could play the rest of this game.
Isn't the song Tennessee Whiskey? Isn't that favorite song, Tennessee Whiskey?
Yeah. Tennessee Whiskey.
Okay.
Maybe that's the nickname for Rainwater, right? And he jumps up high and gets the rebound. Getting the old borders, Rainwater leads up to a floater that's good by Gonsalves. And maybe that might be what Utah Tech needs, just a possession like that, just to get that spark off the bench.
And I told you at the top of the telecast, he's been the most consistent scorer thus far this season. You see why. Some other guys got to step up and score for them.
Well, Rainwater pokes it away, and there'll be a foul on Wyoming. And with 90 seconds to go, Cowboys got to be a little careful here. You had a huge lead, a 21-4 run that went over 7 minutes, but you want to finish the half strong. You don't want to let the Trailblazers back in this game.
Not only that, but also the Trailblazers got to get out in transition. As you see, Torrey, that's what he did. Got out in transition, didn't allow the defense time to set up. Not only did he attack the rim, he drew the foul, and now he could put some points on the board. But this is their Achilles heel. They're not a good free throw shooting team.
Looking at Agbim, he's pointing at Torrey's toes at the free throw line. Let's see if we can look at that. I think he's trying to say that his toes were actually over the free throw line. Well, I mean.
Well, he missed the free throw anyway, so. And sometimes psychologically that could play a part as well. You got to have some side, but let's see if it plays a part. Didn't play anything right there.
You do whatever you can to get that advantage, right?
Not only that, you play any mind games that you can play with anyone.
Big possession here for the Cowboys. You're up by 13. Agbim for three. Just too strong. Rebound by Utah Tech. 3-on-2 opportunity. Gonsalves. And, ooh. It's knocked down to the hardwood.
And Coach Jackson is very glad he returned, as I mentioned.
Yep.
One of the top scorers from last year, one of the 2 starters returning, and he's their lead scorer this year, and you see why. He's going to be consistent night in, night out. They just have to find somebody else that can score on a consistent basis with him in order for them to give themselves a chance, opportunity to win basketball games, particularly when they get in the WAC conference.
15th foul. Foul's on the floor. It was on Agbim, his first.
As I mentioned, they don't turn the basketball over that much as well. They got more shot attempts than a lot of teams. They just couldn't score the basketball. So that's a good sign for them, only if they can score.
Oh, knocked away by Agbim, leading to a run opportunity. Allen, the Euro step. Can I get an and one? Yes, sir.
And that's a grown man move right there. He showed that move earlier in the game, going down in transition, warding the guys off with an NBA-type move, and he was able to finish right there. And watch the steal right here. That's a good block by Agbim. And watch him. Allen, watch the muscle right there. I'm going to get through there, finish at the rim. Watch how he profile right there. And yes.
Almost prayerful for that one, right? Say, hey, come on down.
I tell you, he's a nice-looking player. Nice addition.
He also has 7 points, too. As we'll have another foul, be the 16th foul on the Cowboys. So the next one will be a one-on-one opportunity for the Trailblazers. 40-24 is our score. 47.1 seconds remaining. Foul, by the way, is on Wills. That's his first personal foul.
I tell you, Allen only comes in averaging 3.7 points a game. He's doing a good job. And you're going to need that kind of production off the bench.
Well, a guy who needs a production, too, is Gonsalves. Couldn't get that one. But how about that rebound by Allen? And he just wants to run. And he'll go to the line to shoot, too. Coach, I like the way that this young man is playing.
Not only that, he plays with a lot of energy. He's got a great body. He's long. He's athletic. But right then, he puts pressure on the defense. And that's what you teach your players. You want to continue to put pressure on the defense, especially if they're not back and set and ready to go. So that's a good job by Dante Allen.
Foul on Yanisa Toure. So Allen with the right-handed toss, just a bit too strong. But you look at the way this young man has played so far this year. He's a transfer from Western Kentucky and also Kentucky. He has experience of being in the NCAA tournament. So you're bringing that type of talent to LARAMIE, Wyoming. It's only going to help you as the season goes on.
Not only that, he gets the opportunity to come in and play as well. That's why you see the physicality of him going to the basket and warding people off, because he's been around players that playing in the NBA or playing at the NBA level. So he's taking some of the things that he learned at other places and bringing it here.
Foul on Tadamo over the back. So going to the line and shoot the 1-and-1 is going to be, let's see, Rainwater. Anytime I see number 10, just puts a smile on my face.
I tell you, one of the best names I've heard, and I've been around this game a long time in college basketball. But Tennessee Rainwater is one of the best names, would go down as one of the all-time best names of any player in college basketball.
Well, he splashes home the first free throw. See what he can do in the next one.
No pun intended.
He knocks home the second one as well. 35 seconds to go, and pretty much Wyoming can get the last shot of the first half.
Play for one. Look for Agbim. Come off a pin down.
Using the clock, Wills gets his instructions with 10 seconds on the clock, and now the play goes. Henry with the pick. Wills, beautiful pass to Henry. Henry, sky and high off the glass for two.
That's a nice pass. Good play by A.J. Wills.
Toure, 2 seconds on the clock, mid-range Jay, yes sir! So a nice shot there by Utah Tech to get that one to fall. As we go to break, it's Wyoming leading by 14, 42 to 28. The Cowboys shooting 48% from the floor, 40% from downtown. They have been dominant the whole way through, had a 21-4 run that lasted over 7 minutes, really helped them to get this 14-point lead. So we'll see if they can keep things rolling, or if it will be Utah Tech getting that last shot to get some momentum to come back. We'll be right back on our halftime report.
Wyoming is a place of unlimited potential, a place that inspires us to dream. Since 2014, Wyoming Lotto has given back over $180 million to our great state through transfers, winnings, commissions, and more. Dollars that have gone directly into your cities, towns, and counties. Dollars that have changed lives and set dreams in motion. Thank you, Wyoming, for a legendary 10 years. We can't wait to dream up what's next.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. We're deeply invested in our communities, supporting local charities and initiatives that uplift those in need. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust. Service you can count on.
You can tell a lot by the operation, by their employees, and Wyoming Machinery has great people.
Wyoming Machinery has put together a crew that really cares about the small business, and they've always been there for me.
There's a level of excellence that they operate at, from sales to service to the parts guys. The reliability of the CAT equipment just makes it so that day in and day out we can complete projects without having downtime on equipment.
Runners on the corner for Judge. That may go over Cedar Avenue.
Another steal by Leonard. A poster finish by Kawhi. Wow!
Schofield does it, your new NCAA champion.
There's Palmer with the toughest dive in the competition. That should seal it.
Wyoming from the 9-yard line. Allen keeps it himself. Touchdown, Cowboys!
Old Trapper Beefs. Tough snacks.
Out here, nothing comes easy. That's why you gotta be tough. The truck, it's tough. My crew, definitely tough. But Old Trapper taught me the value of tenderness.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Oh, it's a puppy.
Open enrollment is here, and your chance to discover a range of low-cost plans from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming. Experience local service, the convenience of telehealth, and access to the largest provider network. All plans include preventive care to keep you and your loved ones healthy. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming. Online, in town, in touch. We're right around the corner. Shop now to find the best option for you. It all starts with a plan.
You first. It's our promise. For our members, our colleagues, everyone in our communities, it's how we work to better people's lives. Lifting you up, supporting your goals, it's what we do. It's how we help you achieve your best possible financial future. We are proud to be Wyoming. We are proud to put you first. We are proud to be Uniwyo.
Former University of Wyoming quarterback Josh Allen is worthy of Wyoming.
23 plays into my first start here at the University of Wyoming. I dropped back, kind of went through a progression. I saw the middle of the field kind of open up. I decided to lower my shoulder. His helmet went straight into my collarbone here. We landed on the 20-yard line. At that moment, I knew something was really bad.
So Josh's collarbone was pretty bad. He had broken in multiple places, and it required hardware fixation with the plate in order to get it back together.
It was devastating news to me and my family, just knowing that, it could have ended 23 plays in.
We had no question whether we could perform the surgery here, given our wide range of varying subspecialties within orthopedics.
I would recommend Premier Bone and Joint Centers. The thing that made me feel really comfortable with them was they made it feel like your own family.
I think he'll have no problem performing in the NFL. His rehab and his recovery done very well, and I don't see any restrictions on him whatsoever.
They want the best for you, and they won't steer you wrong.
Let us show you why we're worthy of Wyoming.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
A stroke is a physical event and an emotional event.
It's our job to encourage them when they are down.
We really focus on individualizing everything to that specific person and what they need from us.
You need people to care, and you need them around you. And that's what the ARU was, a safe place to be.
Hey Cowboy fans, it's Logan Wilson of the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm so proud to call Wyoming my home. There's no place like our state, and there are no fans like you. I need your help supporting the next generation of Wyoming Cowboys and Cowgirls. I'm asking you to join me in supporting the 307 campaign to support NIL efforts here at 7220. When you give, you're empowering student athletes to ignite statewide change. You can learn more by visiting 1wyo.org. Go Pokes!
Wyoming up by 14 as we're at halftime. Justin Adams and Daryl Jacobs with you. And Daryl, Coach, at one point this game was at 16 apiece, and then Wyoming took over with a 24-4 run.
Wow, what a tremendous run by them. But they've been taking advantage of those points off turnovers, as well. Getting those points in the paint, they're plus 10 as well. And also, they're hitting the rebound margin at 24-13 right now.
It started off with plays just like this in the first half, just the way that Wyoming was able to go and play very well. They came out and they just dominated, especially during that long run with nice J's like this with Newton.
No, those those paint touches right there. You see up and under move right there, able to finish at the rim. They start off, as you mentioned, when the score got 16-16, and this is Agbim able to knock down a mid-range jump shot as well. And you see both teams were really struggling to score the basketball, but they were keeping pace with one another. And as you mentioned, all of a sudden, that's that pass along the baseline against the 2-3 zone, able to see it, get it right there. And this is them attacking the basket. And that's Gonsalves able to knock down the three right there. It's a great pass over the top to Newton inside right there, shredding the defense of the 2-3 zone. this is Gonsalves with a nice step back. I tell you, he's a fantastic player. He's been doing a great job in the first half. The only most consistent scorer they have thus far this evening.
Yeah, he's only playing double figures for Utah Tech with 11 points. But then it's nice passes like this and also great finishes by Cole Henry, doing a fantastic job with 6 points.
Not only that, he thought he went out the game as you see him come up with a steal right there. And this is a great feed back and forth by the booking guards right there. Back to Newton from Agbim, able to knock down the wide open three. Great pass right there. Nice step in right there. And shot by Newton. I tell you, he's doing a real good job shooting the basketball as well. It's a tough move right there. They're going to need more of that. The Trailblazers able to get the ball inside right there. And that's a great pass right there from Agbim to Cole Henry. Another nice block right there, getting out in transition. And also, they're doing a good job leading the break transition. That's Dante Allen right there, you mentioned. Coming from Western Kentucky and played at Kentucky. He picked up some things along the way, and that's a great finish right there by Cole Henry. He does a real good job in the pick and roll action right there. And that's Torrey to end the half for the Trailblazers.
Well, maybe a big shot there for Utah Tech as we take a look at the first half stats. And one thing that really stands out, the rebound advantage for Wyoming up 24-13 on Utah Tech.
Not only that, they got the rebound advantage, a lot of offensive rebounds, but they only is not taking advantage of the offensive rebound, but they have been taking advantage of points off turnovers, as I mentioned. 11-3 in that category, and as you mentioned, points in the paint, they're plus 20-10, as well as the fast break point. They're beginning to get out in transition a little bit. The Cowboys 9-3 edge there.
How about this against Texas Tech? Wyoming only had 5 field goals against Texas Tech in the first half. They now have 16 shooting.
They don't want to think about that game.
Let's not think about that game. Let's think about what they're doing right now. They're currently up by 14, looking to get their 3rd win of the year. We'll bring you back to Arena Auditorium when we return.
I've probably been there 10 minutes, maybe 15. Wasn't very long. And then my heart stopped. The next thing I knew, I woke up, they hooked me all up, said, yeah, that's a heart attack. I've not been in very many emergency rooms other than LARAMIEs, but I'm really impressed with this group. It's great care there, just outstanding care there. They jumped into action and brought me back to life. So it was amazing.
In the heart of downtown Las Vegas, a sports oasis awaits. Stadium Swim, the ultimate outdoor amphitheater, built for the ultimate sports fan, with a colossal screen that brings the game closer than ever. Reserve a daybed, private cabana, or lounge in the center of it all. 6 pools to dive into as the game heats up. And the best part, there's never an off season. Open 365 days a year. Stadium Swim, it's always spectator season.
What is most important to you when looking for a quality contractor to take care of your home? Is it proficiency, integrity, or loyalty?
When severe weather strikes and your home is in need of repair, wouldn't it be nice to know that your contractor isn't skipping town and doesn't switch teams when times get hard?
That's why here at the University of Wyoming, we only have one trusted partner in the roofing industry.
And that's Pete's Builders Roofing and Restoration.
The Wyoming Cowboys have a loyal partner in the roofing industry.
And you should too.
Choose Pete's Builders Roofing and Restoration, your trusted partner in any weather.
Wyoming up by 14 on Utah Tech, shooting 48% from the floor, holding Utah Tech to 37%. Let's take a look at our keys to the game, and you look at the first half, well, some of them are coming true, especially the way that Wyoming is defending in the first half.
Not only that, they're holding to the 38% shooting, and they're doing a great job doing that as well. So if they could continue that trend, but also they're shooting at a high clip, and most importantly, they're turning the Trailblazers over. And Cowboys have kept their turnovers down to only 6. They're coming averaging close to 15 a ball game, so that's a good sign for the Cowboys.
Another good sign for the Cowboys. How about 2 blocks and 5 steals in the first half. We talked about Coach Wicks wanting to see some sticky fingers today. I think 5 steals does just that, right?
Well, not only that you could get deflections and somebody else can come with the basketball. So he wanted to see probably more deflections, getting their hands in the lane. But they've been doing a real good job defensively. But also, the Trailblazers have helped in that cause as well.
Mid-range J by Bird, no good. We'll have a foul on the floor. That's going to be on Henry.
And if you're the Cowboys, this is a perfect opponent for you. They come in struggling to shoot the basketball, and you begin to see if you can continue to hold them on their certain amount of points to score per game. Except for Gonsalves, there's nobody else been really consistent scoring the basketball for the Trailblazers.
Actually, the foul was on Nesbitt. That's his first personal foul, team first. And it's going to be another foul on Wyoming, this one on Obi Agbim.
And I tell you, this is a good job by the Trailblazers. Forced the Cowboys to foul them twice. And now, if you're the Trailblazers, what you want to do is put points on the board when the clock is not moving. So if they can get the Cowboys into a bonus situation, that's only going to help them to get back in the ball game.
Riley was hot early, cooled down a bit, missed that one, a wild shot. And here comes Wyoming and Agbim. Doing a fantastic job in the first half. Agbim with 10, leads the team in scoring. Looks like Wyoming's trying to make a concerted effort to get the ball down into the paint. Here's Agbim. He'll say, I'll take it to the paint with a floater. Couldn't get it over the top. But right there, great rebound. Obi Agbim with his first 2.
And listen, that's the kind of player you need to have. You don't have to be the focal points on the offense end, but he's going to get his points other ways, getting to the offensive glass, getting tip-ins, coming up with steals. As you can see, Blazers get down the lane, draw the foul on Agbim.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at Agbim, 6'7", 215, a redshirt freshman, and he knows he's going to come out as Coach Wicks will take about just 59 seconds into the second half. He's trying different lineups. One of the things that he mentions is he's just trying to find his 5. And he said, you know, there'll be times where I may change a player or two depending on the lineup, and you see Magasa's going to come out. And he's not too pleased as Coach Wicks is immediately having a conversation with the young man, just coaching him up.
And he's trying to tell him to get the verticality, get your arms straight up in the air, don't let him bend over. Regardless of whether you swipe it at the ball or not, if they bent over and the player is going up, offensive player is going up vertical, and you make contact, it's going to be a foul.
See Utah Tech coming out in the full court press, trying to speed up Wyoming, see if they can go and get a cheap turnover.
And there's a 3-2 zone right here. Now it becomes a matchup.
Agbim loves these matchups, being double teamed. Swinging around, head fake. Going through Newton with the floater, too strong, and rebound comes to the hand of Henry. He gets it knocked away, but it will be a foul on Utah Tech as Samuel Aribi with the foul.
I'll tell you, Cole Henry is playing a good job. Went out with that ankle injury, so you still see him favoring a little bit. You can see him limping a little bit, but he's competing. That says a lot about this young man's resolve, his ability to pay through pain. And I wouldn't be surprised if it swell up overnight, but at the same time, he's able to fight through the pain and keep himself to be not only just out there, but he's effective.
He's young, so it means he'll heal up quickly. Right. You know, it's always interesting. One thing, when I played football, we always had to wear ankle braces.
You want to tell the fans where you played at?
Okay, I played at University of Colorado. By the way, that's Coach Wicks right over there. He's enjoying his team, and that's just 2 misses by Henry, both short, but he's able to go down to the floor and get his own rebound.
I tell you, Cowboys going to be an effective team in the Mountain West Conference. They're going to have to make their free throws.
That's one of the things they struggle with. Came into the game shooting 56% at the free throw shot, because Agbim, with a hard take, will go and he'll shoot 2, as the foul will be on Beon Riley. And Riley say, hey, look, man, I was doing the verticality right over there. And the referee said, no, sir. By the way, let's give a shout out to our referees today. Vern Harris, Anthony Burris, and John Floyd. Our 3 referees. Very easy names. I like that from our referees. So let you know if there's something that goes on wrong, easy names to go back to.
And anytime out of bounds play underneath, the Trailblazers go 2-3. So you got to look to tackle on the baseline or high post. There, the high post pass, inside out. Great job.
Nesbitt, nothing but net. Man, that shot hit nothing but the courts.
And that's where you attack the zone at, either the high post along the baseline. Good kick out by Cole Henry.
There goes Uribe with the three. And he answers back.
I tell you, Uribe looked nice and comfortable on that shot. And that may be a good sign for the Trailblazers. Somebody else has to score the basketball.
Well, they were down by 17. That was their biggest deficit of the evening. Wyoming clinging to that 14-point advantage. 17.5 to go.
Again, got to be conscious of the shot clock here. They're going to double.
That'll be a foul. It'll be on Utah Tech. Or did the ball get knocked out of bounds? The ball actually got knocked out of bounds. No foul. But again, great passing leads to an open three.
Let's see what the Trailblazers do on defense. Showing the ball screen out, show on the screen, good hard screen, great look inside, great passer right there.
Kicking it out, wide open three, just too short. As it will be a foul on Utah Tech. I tell you what, number 8 in white has just been dominant out there.
I tell you, Cole Henry is very active, him and Mugasa. If you got these players out here active like that, particularly against teams that don't really put their body on you, it's going to bode well for you.
Transfer from Northern Iowa. You just see this graduate transfer doing a great job. 6'9", 240, and using absolutely all of it. And a beautiful pass down low and one. He's window shopping, and he'll be shopping for an and one.
I tell you, that's just bad defense by the Trailblazers. He didn't see ball, you man. Allowed Tanamo to just step inside there, able to flash to the low post, catch the basketball. Not only that, Justin didn't commit the foul.
Yeah.
A chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Well, we see Henry come out on a nice pass. Patoko Tanamo will go and get to the free throw line, and Tanamo now has 4.
And Dante Allen checks back in the ball game for the Cowboys.
One more, the right-handed toss, so that's good. Makes it 50-33. There's one thing I see here from Coach Wicks, who, when he was hired, signed 10 guys in just 27 days.
Well, he's been recruiting. He was out of the school, so he has those relationships and contacts over the years. That's the beauty of being in college basketball, being an assistant coach. If you get a head coaching job, you already have your recruiting pipeline already intact. And with the transfer portal, the way it is today, there's enough players to go around compared to back in the day. If you got the job late, you couldn't get players. But today, there's so many players in the portal. You get a job, you can seek through the portal. You can hire assistant coaches who may have relationship with guys in the portal who might be at a school that the old assistant coaches at. You hire them on the staff, he'll follow you there. So it's a different culture
15
today.
fouls on Utah Tech. It's a completely different culture. Everything's changed. NIL has changed a lot of things. The transfer portal has changed absolutely everything, as ball be knocked out of bounds.
And so has the NIL.
Yo, for sure.
NIL. And in April 2025, the House settlement case, everything's going to fall. Now, what's April 2025 is, if it goes through, now you're going to see the whole landscape of college basketball change with the revenue sharing, but also there's going to be some restriction on players how many years they can earn NIL money regardless of when they start college.
So I'm curious, what effect will that have on sports like college basketball?
Well, it's going to have some sports on the lower schools, the FCS schools, the FBS schools going to be able to find the money to do all that stuff, but you're going to begin to see more general managers. You're going to be able to see more people get involved with learning how to raise money and get NIL money for their particular programs as well.
By the way, Nesbitt going between 2 Trailblazers, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. The 16th foul already on Utah Tech. We're not even on the first media break in the second half.
And that shows the physicality. Who's the most physical team right now? There's no doubt the Cowboys getting to the basket, attacking the rim. And I tell you, players like Nesbitt, Dante Allen, they got depth. Again, as I mentioned at the top of the Keller cast, I think of 2 initials, TC, transfers, and the chemistry. And that's what's happening in college basketball today.
Well, Nesbitt is a guy with a lot of chemistry, looking to be one of those glue guys. 6'6" senior from St. Louis, Missouri. Played last year at the University of Hampton. And Coach Wick says that this young man is very talented. He's showing up and winning every day, but he needs to rewire the programming a bit.
He played for a good friend of mine, Ed Joyner. He was the head coach at Hampton University. I raved about this young man when I told him I had the game this evening.
He knocks down both free throws as Wyoming up by 19. Utah Tech trying to get some points on the board. They're only shooting 21% from downtown. Riley wants to change that and can't do so. And guess who gets the rebound? Number 16 in white. Nesbitt with another rebound. This young man has been doing a great job on the floor. It's now his 5th rebound.
I'll tell you, Cowboys are doing a great job keeping him out of the paint, not allowing him to take that. And it is. They're going to call it.
No, they're going to call a foul.
They're going to call a foul?
Yeah, they're calling a foul. That should have been a goaltend as the net was grabbed. You can't do that. But it will be a foul on Wyoming, and that might be the only thing that's only going wrong for the Cowboys. Up by 19 as Utah Tech on a scoring drought for the last 2:30. They're looking to keep it rolling.
What's riding on your shoulder, driving is just about everything. It's about duty, it's about pride, it's about freedom, it's about your life. Don't risk it, drive sober.
Credit Union One Free Checking has everything you need to bank on the go. Make deposits and more with our highly rated mobile app. And get your direct deposit up to 2 days sooner with CU1 Early Pay. Open your account in minutes at creditunionone.org.
Hey Mountain West fans.
It's basketball season.
Stay up to date
with Mountain West basketball
by downloading the Mountain West app.
Available on your smartphone
and connected TV.
Wherever you are.
You can cheer us on all season long.
Right here
on the Mountain West Network.
The Mountain West app is available on Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Roku, and Android TV, plus all your mobile devices. Download and start watching your favorite Mountain West teams today.
At the University of Wyoming, ideas come to life. It's where the spirit of innovation and boundless curiosity fuel our hunger for knowledge. It's where the past meets the present and our students shape a brighter future.
I'm a student athlete.
I'm a musician.
I'm a mentor.
And I'm a cowboy.
The world needs more cowboys.
Well, there might be some long faces for some reason here in Laramie, Wyoming, but you know what? They're really happy. There might be long faces on the outside, but happy on the inside as the Cowboys are up by 19. I wanted to go back quickly to the last play before we went to break, and one of the weirdest things happened. The net looked like it was grabbed, which should have been a goaltending. The goaltending wasn't called on Utah Tech, but a foul was called on Wyoming. You ever seen anything like that, Coach?
Well, it sounded like they definitely missed the call. That was definitely interference on the basket. No question about it. They missed that call, as well. But look at the play, no doubt about it. And that's an obvious call right now. But here's the telling thing right now for the game, Justin. 24 to 10 points in the paint in favor of the Cowboys. Second chance points 12-4 right now.
And also turnovers as Utah Tech was able to get the ball back. Almost lost it again. Riley in the corner. Huge three needed for Utah Tech. And they can't knock that one down. Another missed three-pointer by Utah Tech. They're 3 of 16.
But if you're the Cowboys, you still got to be conscious of the defensive effort going forward. The Trailblazers just not making shots. They're getting open looks at the basket. That's a nice drive right
Nesbitt
there.
Nesbitt was trying to put somebody on a poster.
And his former coach, Coach Ed Joyner, a shout out to him, told me about this young man. Said, Darryl, he's a great athlete, coach. He can get to the rim. He's going to play very well for them as well. And he's showing that he's very active. And those are the kind of players, you need in today's college basketball game. Active players with active hands who are very good at attacking the basket off the bounce. He's 6'4", 6'5". He can put it on the floor. But most importantly, he's a tremendous athlete.
Coach Wicks says he's a junkyard dog. He only scored 4 points and had 4 rebounds against Texas Tech, but he does all the dirty work.
Well, he plays with energy.
Yeah.
He plays with a lot of energy. He's very active. And in today's game, you got active players, particularly if you can get to the offensive glass. He's the type of player you don't need to run no plays for. He's going to make his presence felt in the game at all times as well. And I often talked about players when I was a coach, and I would watch film. I said, you know what? You only make an impact on the game 10 of your 20 minutes. That means you're leaving 10 minutes when you're actively not doing anything, as well. So it's important that he continues to do that for the Cowboys.
Knocked out both free throws. He now has 7 points. Wyoming up by 21, and a nice take. And saying a little bit too small right there is Riley.
I tell you, Riley got a nice body as well, able to muscle inside. And I tell you, everything that they're getting You see the foul right there. Everything that the Trailblazers getting, if they're scoring, it's a tough basket. It's very difficult for them to get any continuity, any flow going towards the basket. And give the Cowboys credit. They're keeping them out of the lane, keeping them going east and west, not letting them get downhill. And that's a recipe for success. Now, if they can continue this going forward against some other opponents, especially when you get in the Mountain West Conference, they're going to need that. But you got to make free throws. That's going to be one of the Achilles heels they're going to have to correct. See a foul line violation right there.
Yep. So you have a foul violation. By the way, the foul was on Skank. That's his first personal foul. Make that his second personal foul. And here comes Utah Tech down by 19. 54-35, 14:30 to go.
And see, they're going east and west. You got to go north and south. You got to go down here. That's a great pass right there. Probably should have taken the shot.
I hate seeing Rainwater just not take every shot. I think he needs the green light, right?
I tell you just want to say his name so you can say that. But, you know, they're not a good shooting basketball team. That's a good move right there by Nesbitt. Look at the activity.
How about that? The junkyard dog growling at the rim.
And I tell you, he's a welcome addition. Anytime you have scoring droughts, you got a player like that.
Oh, good take by Rainwater.
Right around Koyetz. Let him go right around him. There was no rotation, no help there as well. Got to do a much better job closing out.
Young man can walk on water. He can also make some layups. That's going to be a foul on Utah Tech. That'll be their 8th team foul.
I tell you, getting the foul trouble right away.
Just keep rolling. So that's the 8th team foul. Make that the 9th team foul. We'll have a couple of substitutions as Agbim will come out. At the free throw line, shooting the 1 and 1. So that's Tanamo, and Tanamo, nothing but nets.
I tell you, he was a good foul shooter at University of Denver where he played last year. And I didn't want to say nothing before he shot the free throw because I didn't want to jinx him.
You want to do the jinx, right?
The whole arena is quiet.
Came into this game as a 75% free throw shooter, and the arena is quiet.
I tell you, he's one of the best free throw shooters on the season thus far. But if they're going to make a run, 3 things you're going to have to do to win basketball games. You're going to have to defend, rebound, and make free throws.
Where would you say this team will be in the Mountain West? They were picked preseason to be 9th in the Mountain West. I think they're better than that.
Well, they could be better than that. Depends on, that's why you play those non-league games. You talk about chemistry. Depends on Coach Wick settling on a certain rotation of players, guys being productive. You see guys like Nesbitt and Dante Allen coming off the bench. They're going to solidify themselves as guys coming off the bench or potentially starting for them at some point in time. You got Mugasa, who's a very active player. So they got guys who are activity who can guard multiple positions. So it's just going to be their ability to knock down those free throws and score the basketball.
That'll be a foul on Wyoming, and not believing it at all is Dante Allen. Allen, all he can do is just smirk. Doesn't like that call. But that is a foul on Wyoming. Will be their 5th team foul as Nesbitt comes out. Nesbitt doing a fantastic job. How about this for number 16? 9 points. Has done a fantastic job all day long, especially in the second half. Nesbitt just fantastic. He also has 7 rebounds, so almost close to that double-double. As Utah Tech can't get the floater. As Aribi didn't get that one to fall.
I'll tell you, a player like that, anytime you have, he's going to be a player for you that's going to be very productive.
Ball stays with Utah Tech. And, oh, that's knocked away, but that'll be a foul. Let's see who the foul's on. It is on Wyoming, be the 16th foul.
I'm the Cowboys. I'd like to see more verbals out there underneath, talking a lot more, letting them know. I'm sure the guys do a great job. The coaches scouting reports, knowing exactly what they're going to do. But you need those verbals.
This is something that you mentioned earlier. There was a shot by Wyoming in the first half where nobody talked for Utah Tech. And you said that only happens when nobody talks. Same thing here.
Yes, you got to talk. One thing I learned as a coach, even a player, 2 things you got to hear a good basketball team doing in the gym. Sneaker squeaking and voices being heard. If you got those things going on, that's so important in any game, whether it's the pro level, high school level, grammar school level. You got to have those verbals out there. You got to have communication. As you see, the Trailblazers trying to force tempo, try to create some turnovers.
Nice job by Barrett. Almost got the turnover. Could have been an alley-oop, but nice to hold. That's the way I like it. Obi Agbim. slamming it down.
That's a great pass underneath. Able to get over the top of the zone. And right now, Utah Tech, that's a nice pass inside.
Yeah, it's going to be, should have been an and one opportunity. Foul on Wyoming. The fouls are starting to pick up a little bit, by the way, on both sides. We talked about this earlier, where you had Utah Tech that was almost in the penalty right before.
Nice look inside.
The first break.
Breaking the pass right there. Just got it over the top. You don't want to throw that chest pass from your chest trying to go over the top. That's got to be overhead pass, young man. He threw the overhead pass. It wouldn't have got deflected, but luckily Mugasa was there to catch it and dunk the basketball.
Coming back into the game.
And I sound like I'm coaching over here.
No, you're not coaching. You know what? Here's the thing.
Once
a coach, always a
but
coach.
You know
right?
what the thing is? You throw the overhead pass there. He threw it from the chest. It got deflected, but Mugasa was lucky enough to catch it. You throw it over the top, over your head. You throw the overhead pass. It's easier. Would have never got deflected. Those are the little things you see.
Aribi knocks home both free throws. Utah Tech still hanging around. I mean, in today's day where you have the three-point line being used more than ever.
Absolutely.
19-point lead. You can't say you're too comfortable with that if you're Wyoming. Might try to get the knockout punch right here. Got Newton back in the game. Agasa. Like the way this young man is. Just his makeup. Just a red shirt freshman. Henry. Tried to go and feed it to Mugasa. Mugasa rolled
down.
his ankle. My goodness. Quickly on the other end, Barrett for three, no good. And rebound is going to be fought for and grabbed by Wyoming. We'll see if there'll be a timeout. Nope, Mugasa saying, hey, give me the ball. Hurt ankle and all. He is fighting in the paint. He wants the rock.
He's got the mismatch inside. They should go to him. Be patient. Going to run the ball screen action here. Little bit good slip screen right by Cole Henry right there.
Newton with the spin. Oh, man. Mama. He does it for you.
As my friend Mark Jackson said, mama, there goes that man again. But that's a great move by Newton, getting down the lane.
Vicky Newton, by the way, is here all the way from Portland to see her baby put up 17 in this one. Oh, what a crossover. And off the window, just been that type of day for Utah Tech.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Utah Tech. They got a lot of good looks this evening. Just couldn't knock down shots. Good cut right there. Great skip pass.
Oh, Agbim for the dagger. Couldn't get that one to go. Had the cookies, couldn't get the cream. Under 12 minutes to go. Wyoming up by 21. Off the mark, another missed three-point shot by Utah Tech. They're now 3 of 19.
And Coach Wicks is telling them to slow it down a little bit. I would be surprised if he takes a timeout if they don't knock their shot down. Just slow them down a little bit, get in the offensive flow, and then ultimately try to close this thing out.
Mugasa with the take. He'll go to the line to shoot two as the foul will be on Utah Tech. That is their 10th foul of the first half. Everything going the way of the Cowboys, up 21, halfway home.
Sunday.
Just gotta steam it, babe.
Time to suit up.
Like half zip, kind of quarter zip guy.
Sacrifice your lung and your skin's ability to breathe.
Does that look cheater looking? No, it's full jag.
Easy, Chief. Let your razzle-dazzle on the field, the bar, or your best friend's nuptials.
So the Buffalo Bills, guys.
No matter how hard you football, it's easy to Sunday.
Old Trapper Beefs. Energy emergency. Old Trapper. What's your beef?
It's now time for our Wild Lotto play of the game, and you know I love defense turning into offense.
Great job by Cole Henry knocking it away. Watch it. Pass from Newton to Agbim, back to Newton. The knockdown three. Watch it again right here. Great steal by Cole Henry. That's where you give it up the floor. Watch the behind the back pass. Good kickoff right back to the open teammate. Good booking guards right there. I tell you, this is a great looking offense set. One more angle. Nice job. Great hands again. The big fella's running the floor. And rewarding. That's a nice look. That's what you do. Extend the defense. Anytime you pass the ball at the floor, the defense, you extend the defense. They got to go play the basketball. You can always catch you coming down to catch in the shot fake position or shot make position.
Well, Cole Henry has been filling up the stat sheet today. Henry with 6 points, also has 3 rebounds, 3 assists, has 1 steal, but let's forget about the 2 turnovers. We don't want to talk about that. He's doing a great job all the way around, Coach.
And I tell you, if you're looking at the stat line here, that's a nice job by Gonsalves knocking the shot down. If you're looking at the stat line, if you're in the game, you see a lot of pluses for players in the game. That means you're contributing as well. And unfortunately for the Utah Trailblazers, Tech Trailblazers, a lot of minuses.
And miss on the second of the free throws by Abu Magassa. Magassa, we spoke a little bit about him. He was pulled early, as there'll be a foul on Wyoming, and go to the free throw line, shooting the one-on-one rather, will be Utah Tech. But he was pulled just 59 seconds to the second half. Immediately, Coach Wicks wanted to talk to him, and you said, hey, it's all about working on your verticality because he's going to come out again. But this is a young man that is just brimming with a lot of potential. And again, you see Coach Wicks yet again. Immediately, once he comes out, he is stopping him and saying, hey, let's go and encourage him, trying to go and coach him up.
Well, you know, these players today are very athletic, but sometimes the IQ is missing. To have a coach like Coach Wicks able to teach you and teach you the game of basketball, and not only teach you the game of basketball, but that's going to translate in life about doing the little things and making sure you're paying attention to details. That's so important to prepare these young men, not just on the court, but in life.
Yeah, Coach Wicks said about Magassa, I talked to him yesterday, and he said, look, this young man just has to improve defensively. You look at his body, 6'7", 215. You see the reason why he does need to improve. And against Texas Tech, he didn't score a point, he didn't get a rebound. So it's slowly starting to seep into him about what's expected in order for him to be able to be a contributor for the Cowboys, as Nesbitt will go to the free throw line.
And I tell you, he's just a freshman.
Just a baby.
Just a baby.
Just a baby.
And he's already getting some good minutes here, and the coach is teaching him. I'll tell you, as you go into the Mountain West Conference, he's getting experience now. It's going to be a little bit tougher for him, but if he keeps that same energy and keep listening to the coach and the coaching staff, the future is bright for this young man in the Wyoming Cowboys program.
Foul, by the way, was on Beaker. And for Beaker, that's his second personal foul. One more for Nesbitt. Nesbitt doing a great job, too. He now has 10 points. And, oh, man, that just rolled out to make it 11.
They're doing a decent job this evening shooting the free throw.
Nesbitt with 10 points, 8 rebounds, Coach.
It's yeoman's work right there, almost a double-double.
A little bit of struggling right now is Utah Tech. Another turnover for the Trailblazers. That is their 10th.
And the Cowboys have done, that's where they mark at the turn. The Cowboys done a great job, points off turnovers, 13-3 in that category, so they're taking advantage of it. And now the second chance points is stretching out a little bit. Well, 14-6 in favor of the Cowboys.
Almost halfway home, Cowboys up by 23. Really expanded the lead in this game. In the first half, it was tied up at 16 apiece. And then Wyoming went on a 21-4 run. As Tolomo says, mouse in the house.
Just so much size and physicality right there. You see who's the more physical basketball team.
25-point advantage for the Cowboys. Rainwater for 3. Splash!
It's a nice looking shot by Tennessee Rainwater. Nice catch and shoot, but a great pass out to find the open man by the Trailblazers.
Oh, Tennessee Rainwater with 9 points. That's his first three-pointer of the ball game. 22-point lead for the Cowboys, though. But you just see the size, the athleticism for Wyoming. Type of team that could do something in the Mountain West. Beautiful pass by Cole. My goodness, Cole Henry.
And I tell you, the Trailblazers have not done a good job with been flashing from the weak side to the basketball. You got to stay between your man and the ball. That's ball you man concept, seeing both at the same time and having your head on a swivel. And unfortunately for them, they have not done a good job doing that this evening.
Yeah, and it's all about talking.
All about the verbals.
All about the verbals.
And we're sitting over here at courtside, and You don't hear verbals, and you got to talk out here on the floor. You can't play this game in silence.
Newton making that first free throw. By the way, Wyoming, 4 out of their last 5 field goals they have made. They've been hot from the floor today, shooting 48%. As the next one will go in, and Cole Henry goes down to the hardwood. He's all right, dusted himself off. Injured his ankle earlier in the first half. Good to see that young man back in, and he is limping a bit, laboring as well, but good to see him play.
Doing a good job shooting free throws tonight. 17 for 25. And that's a good call by the official.
And the foul will be on Henry, and for Henry, that would be his first personal foul. 9th team foul on Wyoming. Cowboys shooting 49%, 38% from deep, and you see Cole Henry come out of the ball game, and Cole Henry leads with 6 points, also with 3 rebounds and 3 assists.
And it's probably going to be the night for him. You know, he's still limping a little bit, so they need to get some ice on that ankle right away and keep it elevated, and hopefully it don't swell up too much overnight.
Torrey gets the rebound. Rainwater, baseline drive, gets the ball back. Wants to go at it again, spins around, wide open 3, off the mark. Utah Tech with another miss. How about this? 4 of 21 from downtown.
But that's a wide open look, Justin, right there. They're getting some wide open looks. Their inability to score the basketball, especially from the 3-point line. And you got to focus on it. You got to try to know your strengths and weaknesses as a team. I'm sure Coach Junkers, who's a legendary coach, have told him that. But, you know, you're shooting 45% inside the 3-point line. You come in shooting only 23% from 3, and it's probably going to lower your percentage as well. So that's not your game. I'm sure Coach next season or during the course of the season going to really work on that 3-point shooting or try to get some paint touches, high percentage shots. As you see in the 2-3 zone, you got to try to attack it in the high post and penetrate the gaps.
4 seconds on the shot clock. Nesbitt trying to go with the reverse lay-in. No good. Rebound. That's good.
Just too much size and strength down there between Nesbitt and Koyet's right there, able to get the offensive rebound, puts it back in.
Beyond that, nice job defensively too. So he gets the 2, then he's able to defend. He has 2, and here come the Cowboys up 26 with 8 minutes to go in this one. Newton with the take, misses. Rebound by Utah Tech. They can run a bit if they want to.
Yeah, this is the only way they're going to score baskets. Uncontested, they can get out in transition, they can get something off the dribble. That's a good move right there. Able to attack the basket instead of going east and west. Got downhill by Rainwater. He's looking like he's a player this evening.
Well, Tennessee Rainwater now in double figures, and Utah Tech needs a whole lot more of that, down by 24.
Wyoming is a place of unlimited potential, a place that inspires us to dream. Since 2014, Wyo Lotto has given back over $180 million to our great state through transfers, winnings, commissions, and more. Dollars that have gone directly into your cities, towns, and counties. Dollars that have changed lives and set dreams in motion. Thank you, Wyoming, for a legendary 10 years. We can't wait to dream up what's next.
You can tell a lot by the operation, by their employees, and Wyoming Machinery has great people.
Wyoming Machinery has put together a crew that really cares about the small business, and they've always been there for me.
There's a level of excellence that they operate at, from sales to service to the parts guys. The reliability of the CAT equipment just makes it so that day in and day out we can complete projects without having downtime on equipment.
Open enrollment is here, and your chance to discover a range of low-cost plans from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming. Experience local service, the convenience of telehealth, and access to the largest provider network. All plans include preventive care to keep you and your loved ones healthy. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming. Online, in town, in touch. We're right around the corner. Shop now to find the best option for you. It all starts with a plan.
Well, when you want to get a job of your dream job, sometimes you have to go to drastic measures. And that's exactly what Coach Sundance Wicks did. He was hired and immediately started to go to work once he was hired. And for the first 3 months on the job, he was sleeping in his office. That's his air mattress right there. These are the pictures that he sent to me yesterday. And you know, he's doing a fantastic job. Immediately, he said he signed 10 players in 27 days. He also says his back hurts a little bit from sleeping on that air mattress.
Well, I know about sleeping in my offices. I haven't gotten their jobs, and I've got jobs where we had low budget, and I had to sleep in my car on a recruiting trip, whatever the case may be, because our passion for the game, we didn't matter. I've been jobs where I slept in my office, had a pull-out couch in there, had to sleep on the bed. I didn't care. I was a head coach, and I had to get there early and do what we had to do before I found a place. But that's not uncommon. If you ever been to a Final Four, guys sleeping in your hotel rooms and all that stuff, doing all that stuff. The coaching profession, that's what it's all about. I love that story.
Well, you know what? He was telling me about his routine that he had. So, again, the first 3 months, he would, the athletic director, by the way, came by and said, hey, you could go and sleep in a hotel if you want to. And he says, no, I don't want to go
and let's shout out the athletic director, Tom Berman.
Tom Berman does a fantastic job, by the way, here at Wyoming.
Great job at the University of Wyoming.
As you can see, great job on the pictures that we're bringing to you tonight on the Mountain West Network. But he went to Coach Wick's office and said, look, you could go and be in a hotel. And Coach Wicks was like, no, I want to save that money. I don't want to use that money on a hotel. So just go and get me this air mattress. I'll be all right. And what he would do is, actually he would go and wake up at 5:15. He would immediately go outside and walk around campus. And the reason why was, he said it made it feel like he didn't sleep in his office, that he was actually just getting to work. After his walk, he would go and take a shower in the locker room. Then he would go get his Starbucks, and guess what? He'll go right back to work.
That's right. I've slept in my office getting a new job as well. As long as it had a shower, I was good. I had my pull-out couch and was able to get up the next morning and either meet players or have recruits coming on campus, whatever the case may be. It's very exciting when you're in a profession that you love and you always dream of being a head coach. And I love the story, and it wouldn't be him if he's not the only coach that have done that in his profession.
One of the biggest things with Coach Wicks being able to come back home. How about this? He is the first Wyoming native to lead the program as a head coach in nearly 50 years, as Gonsalves gets 2 more back for Utah Tech.
I tell you, that's a good job by Gonsalves getting down the lane. And I didn't know he had that kind of athleticism to jump up there and able to dunk the basketball. That's a good job by him. I tell you, he's been the most consistent player. This is Nesbitt.
Oh,
look at that move.
Look at the jelly from Nesbitt off the window.
That's that acrobat athleticism that his former head coach, Coach Ed Joyner, had told me about. That's a great finish at the rim.
You start to look at the pieces that Wyoming has, and when you talk about 3-and-D guys, you want long defenders to be able to play, especially in the Mountain West, where you have teams like New Mexico, San Diego State, Boise State, a team that's picked to finish first in the Mountain West, and they're bringing back all the talent that actually led them to the NCAA tournament last year. You're going to need a team just like what Wyoming has if you're going to defend that, and also passing like that from Nesbitt.
That's a great catch by the big fella, able to catch the ball inside. Great hands, good defense by Tanamo.
Yeah. Toko Tanamo. Nice job defensively. Also Ole Cayones with the made shot. And you just see this young man.
Catch right there.
Oh, man, nice shot by him, huh?
Cody Yates, I tell you, that's a great pass and great catch. Watch the defense right here. Great effort by Tanamo.
76-48. Wyoming almost up by 30. 28-point advantage. Barrett trying to get 3 back. Does so. Tripled by Barrett. Just the 5th made 3-pointer today by Utah Tech.
And when you play in these games, you got a lot of transfers. As I mentioned, Utah Tech has 6 returners, 10 new players. You're trying to develop chemistry.
And also doing a great job, and that is travel. Yes, sir. Nesbitt stepped through, but took about 3 more steps than he should have.
Yes, good call by the official, but good step through.
Also, looking at the foul trouble, Riley has 4 fouls. Gonsalves has 4 fouls for Utah Tech, so keep an eye on that. As coming back into the game for the Cowboys is Abu Bagassa.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things both teams done to today's ball game. Unfortunately for the Trailblazers, Utah Tech, there's a lot of things they got to continue to work on as a team.
And Bagassa immediately getting a foul, and Coach Wicks is saying, hey, he hooked him.
And Coach Wicks is correct.
He's going to pull out Bagassa. We'll see what happens here as Bagassa will come out again. And Bagassa comes out, but every time something happens, he immediately, Coach Wicks goes to Bagassa, and this time he's just going to give him just a hand clap and say, hey, young man, let me go and slap your hand a little bit. You're doing a great job. Let's get some other guys in the game.
And you're done for the night.
Yeah.
and And that's a good thing.
Wait, so that's the high five when you're done for the night right there?
Absolutely. No, he's a very important piece of their program. You don't want him to get hurt. This game is pretty much out of hand. That's a miraculous letdown by the Cowboys.
Yeah, Riley misses the first free throw. And you talk about miraculous, letdown. Down 25 with 5:38 to go. Utah Tech needs them out a huge comeback.
I'll tell you for Utah Tech, you may not win this ball game, but a lot of things you can work on. Sometimes you use it as a scrimmage session and get some things done.
And Allen with the take will go to the line to shoot 2.
I'll tell you, Allen was able to keep those elbows up in there. Incidental contact against the defender down there. But he's very physical, as you mentioned. Transferred, he played at Western Kentucky. He was at the University of Kentucky. So he's been around some players, some NBA players, some potential NBA players, some future NBA players. And his physicality, watch the elbow right there, inadvertent contact right there.
Yeah, but I think Beon Riley, his nose is bleeding.
Yeah.
But how about this, the double whammy for Riley? Not only does he has a bloody nose, but he's also done for the day. That's his 5th personal foul.
Yeah.
Leaves the game with 14 points.
I'll tell you, and for the Cowboys, you're looking at their depth, Justin, and what they have. We talk about a team that can really get out there and defend, and coach should be very happy with his defensive effort this year. Combination of good defensive effort, combination of Utah Tech inability to score the basketball and be effective as they can. They came into the ball game, as we mentioned, 36% from the floor, 23% from 3, and they're still holding true. But give the Cowboys a lot of credit for their defensive effort as well.
Cleaning up the blood on the floor is the reason why we have a stoppage of play.
The court is under review for a possible
flagrant foul. Yeah, that's incidental contact. Officials are looking at it potentially for a flagrant, but that was all in the motion of a basketball play. There was no inadvertent, from my standpoint, my vantage point, there was no malice intent there, and they're probably going to rule.
No call, play on the court stands.
And just what I thought, but they did a good job. They're supposed to look at it. Anytime there's blood or contact above the shoulders and to the head, they're going to take a look at it, and that's what they're supposed to do, see if there was that malice in this, or whether it's a flagrant 2, which would result in ejection, or a flagrant 1. So good job by the officials.
Let's look ahead for both teams. Obviously, Utah Tech, unless they get that miracle comeback, they're going to fall to 1-3 this year. They'll be on the road on Friday against Utah. So a little bit of an in-state rivalry right there as you take on the Utah Utes. And if you're Utah Tech, you're coming off of a game like this, you're playing against a team that's in the Big 12. To me, the best basketball conference in America, the Big 12. What would you like to see if you're Coach John Judkins? What would you tell your team after this one?
Well, you got to compete, and you got to know your strengths and weaknesses right now. Even as a coach, he's got to know that, we're not a good three-point shooting team. We're struggling from the field. How can we get paint touches? How can we become better at scoring the basketball? And that was a shot right there. He passed up, but they have no confidence shooting. That's a good move right there, and that's what you got to do. And that's what they're going to probably have to do more of, attack the basket and get to the rim, not rely on three-point shooting. And also, again, I mentioned, watch him attack the basket right here. This is a good move. Get in there, a la Dr. J right there with the one-hand finish and draw the foul right there.
You know a little bit about Dr. J?
Absolutely. Way before your time, man.
Oh, man. You know what? They say he was Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan.
Yes, he was.
The doctor.
And even before him, the great late Connie Hawkins, who Dr. J got his game from.
As we would say, kids don't know about that these
Not
days,
at
right?
all. Not at all.
Got to go on YouTube, search it up.
Well, today's generation has a lot more access than I did, and I knew the history of the game. That's a great move right there by A.J. Wills. Yeah, nice finish at the rim, and that's what you got to do as a little guard. Absorb the contact, finish at the rim. That's a great finish by that young man.
He's going to be a very important reserve, the transfer from Holy Cross, as that's going to be a foul on Wyoming. But when you think about the players that you already have, 4 guys you could put in from the wing, and now you bring in a guard just like this with Wills. That's only going to help out other individuals on your team like Agbim.
Not only that, you're going to have to, more or less, the guard play is going to be stellar.
Yep.
Your forward play between Mugasa and Nesbitt, you already see those two bookends going to be very aggressive. Anything you probably got to work on. Newton is your sure three-point shooter, as well as Agbim is a good three-point shooter, but your big's going to have to really step up and play for you as well. And Cole Henry has shown signs of that tonight. And Corey Yates can do the job with it as well.
Barrett gets the offensive rebound off the hands of two Cowboys. Barrett now double figures with 10. 80-58 is our score. Coaching 4:20 to go.
And
that'll be an offensive foul.
And that's a good job by A.J. Wills, able to attack the basket. Saw the double team, attack one guy. And that's what you do in a double team. You don't try to split him. You attack one guy, go left or right, attack one guy. He made a good move, but good call by the official, offensive foul.
Utah Tech shooting only 38% from the floor. And being out-rebounded 45-24.
Yeah, they came in as one of the top offensive rebounding teams in the nation. Give the Cowboys a lot of credit.
Barrett with a nice take, swatted away. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Allen said, not again. Head fake and a drive. Bird knocked away too. Back-to-back defensive plays by the Cowboys. Get used to that in 2024. This team has some high flyers. As stepping out of bounds is Allen. And he looks right behind him. And yes, young man, your heel was out of bounds. And that might be the only thing that has gone wrong for the Cowboys today, as they are 3 minutes and 45 seconds away for win number 3 on the season.
You first. It's our promise. For our members, our colleagues, everyone in our communities, it's how we work to better people's lives. Lifting you up, supporting your goals. It's what we do. It's how we help you achieve your best possible financial future. We are proud to be Wyoming. We are proud to put you first. We are proud to be Uniwyo.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. We're deeply invested in our communities, supporting local charities and initiatives that uplift those in need. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust. Service you can count on.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink. Designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best, because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
Old Trapper Beefs. Energy emergency. Old Trapper. What's your beef?
80-58 is our score with 3:45 remaining in half number 2. Justin Adams as well as Coach Daryl Jacobs with it. And this has been a game that has been dominated throughout by Wyoming. Once again in the first half, the score was at 16-16. And then Wyoming went on a 21-4 run. And ever since then, it's just been too tough for Utah Tech to get back in this one.
And it's been downhill for Utah Tech ever since. Their confidence got kind of dwindle a little bit. And then, you know, it's just too much depth and physicality by the Cowboys. And you've seen a big difference in the physicality, not so much the talent level. And give the Trailblazers a lot of credit. They're getting open looks. They're just going to cash in on those open looks. But give the Cowboys a lot of credit, who after this game, they can continue to build on this with the rest of their non-league schedule.
When you look at the rest of the schedule for Wyoming, they're going to take on Southeast Louisiana. That'll be a Friday start right here at Arena Auditorium. The Dome of Doom.
7,220 feet above sea level. And ladies and gentlemen, it's real.
It's real. By the way, let's get a shout out to Court Robinson coming in for the first time today. See if we get number 31 the ball. Beautiful take. Not able to go and get that one. Rushing to get the rebound is Dante Allen. Here comes Barrett. And it'll be a foul. And the foul will be on Wyoming and the fans that are stuck around. Don't like that call.
I kind of agreement with the officials there. It seemed like he wasn't set. He didn't square him off. You know, he kind of caught him on the side a little bit. So it could have went either way, but I understand why the official made that call. Sometimes when the defensive player is giving ground, the offensive player initiate contact, more likely it's going to be a foul call on the offensive player. Sometimes it's not, depending on your position. But he was above the restricted arc area. Just didn't, according to the official, just didn't square him off enough.
Substitutions continue to go on. Get a couple more guys on the floor that haven't played a whole lot. Nigel Cook comes in, a 6'6" sophomore from D-Land, Florida. Played at DME Academy.
It's a good school.
Stolen away. Here comes Utah Tech. You don't want to go and be sloppy. And a little bit of what Wyoming's doing is a little bit sloppy. And it'll be another foul. So with 2:48 to go. And Coach Wicks is starting to put in a couple of his starters. Jordan Nesbitt will come back in.
Yeah, you got some guys get some playing time that normally wouldn't play. And that's what you're supposed to do, being the class act that Coach Wicks is. You try to run up scope up, but also you don't want your players to get hurt.
Yep.
Those guys, that's going to be a very important part of your ball club. And you'll probably see both teams begin to unload their benches.
Well, actually, Wyoming's bringing in some starters.
To try to balance it out.
Yeah.
With A.J. Wills, some of the guys that they have in the ball game, more or less.
And this free throw, and the crowd's going wild. I think there might have been a promotion right there. Free ice cream at Freddy's, folks.
I don't know what I'll be after this game. I don't know what Freddie is, but I'm going to try to find it since it's free. Good move right there.
Nice shot by Kayanis.
Kayanis, great move inside, finishing with the left hand. I tell you, he's put on some weight and some strength. Looks bigger and stronger this year.
He also got 6 points. So like you just said, I mean, he's starting to put more on his body. 6 points, 5 rebounds.
Good move right there. Good step through right there. That's when you finish. That's that physicality. Good big men finish in traffic. Even though he has size and girth on the opponent, that's just a mismatch inside. He did a great job taking advantage of it.
82-60 our score. Foul, by the way, on Nesbitt. That's his 3rd personal foul. And at the free throw line is Rainwater. Tennessee Rainwater now with 12 points. The name that keeps me chuckling all the way throughout the night.
I tell you, they're doing the best names in college basketball. Maybe we should phone that one in and say we need to find the top 10 names in college basketball. I'm sure this young man will be in the top 5, if not the top 2.
By the way, Stone Hutchings comes into the game, 6'5", 195-pound redshirt sophomore from West Jordan, Utah. Number 23 in navy blue. Agbim back in the game, starting to burn that clock.
And their next game against the Utah Utes is going to be a tough game for them as well.
Agbim gives it up and poked away. Here comes Utah Tech with it. Down by 20 and missing absolutely everything. That's going to be a foul, Robinson. Hey, look at that Coach Wicks, and he's saying score. As a coach, you're never satisfied. You're always coaching no matter how much time.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Because you never know who you're going to need. You never know who's going to get hurt during the season. So you constantly want to coach everybody up because you never know. You know, I've been in those situations, and I've lost players, and I needed other guys. And thank God I was coaching them all the way through. They came in and was able to fill some of the gaps that we got some guys back. So it's important to keep coaching everybody up and lets everybody know you care about them as well.
Akeem Bird making the free throw. That's only his 2nd point of the game, making now with 3 points. 82-64. Coming down the home stretch here at Arena Auditorium. Cowboys looking to improve to 3-1. That'll be a foul. Nope, it'll be a timeout by the Wyoming Cowboys with 1:41 remaining. And with that, we will step aside. Cowboys on their way to their 3rd victory of the year at home.
Former University of Wyoming quarterback Josh Allen is worthy of Wyoming.
23 plays into my first start here at the University of Wyoming. I dropped back, kind of went through a progression. I saw the middle of the field kind of open up. I decided to lower my shoulder. His helmet went straight into my collarbone here. We landed on the 20-yard line. At that moment, I knew something was really bad.
So Josh's collarbone was pretty bad. He had broken in multiple places, and it required hardware fixation with the plate in order to get it back together.
It was devastating news to me and my family, just knowing that, you know, it could have ended 23 plays in.
We had no question whether we could perform the surgery here, given our wider range of varying subspecialties within orthopedics.
I would recommend Premier Bone and Joint Centers. The thing that made me feel really comfortable with them was they made it feel like your own family.
I think he'll have no problem performing in the NFL. His rehab and his recovery done very well, and I don't see any restrictions on him whatsoever.
They want the best for you, and they won't steer you wrong.
Let us show you why we're worthy of Wyoming.
Runners on the corner for Judge. That may go over Cedar Avenue.
Another steal by Leonard. A poster finish by Kawhi. Wow!
Schofield does it, your new NCAA champion.
Here's Palmer with the toughest dive in the competition. That should seal it.
Wyoming from the 9-yard line. Allen keeps it himself. Touchdown, Cowboys!
Well, it's time for our player of the game, and guess who it is? Kobe Newton doing a fantastic job today. 19 points, 2 of 5 from downtown. Also has 4 assists. He's been dominant, Coach.
Not only that, he had 0 turnovers, which is one of the things Coach Wicks really wanted his team to focus on. He didn't turn the basketball over, knock it down some great three-point looks. Teammates setting them up lovely, as we say. Look at the pass right there. That's one of his 4 assists, able to find his backcourt mate, Obi Agbim.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kobe Newton, with all the numbers you see right there on the screen, all that's fine, but there's one number that really matters, is a big smile. How about that from his mother right there? She's covered herself up a little bit with the jacket. She's ready to go home, but she is very pleased. That's Vicky Newton, very happy to see just a great game.
No, she's getting ready for that weather outside.
Look, she's ready to go. I'll put it that way. But she's from Portland, so Portland got a little bit of cold out there.
Oh, they like this cold. They like this cold.
So it's a little different?
Nah, this is 7,220 feet.
Turnover, by the way, on Wyoming. You know, and this is one of the things, too, you always get the feel as a coach where, yes, you were dominant, you played well, but it's always something you can go back to in the film session and say, hey, guys, we played a really good game, but turnovers still sticking out a bit. 16 turnovers, Coach.
No doubt about it. They got to take care of the basketball, and they're lucky that Utah, their inability to score the basketball consistently on Achilles heel, so they're going to have to do a much better job to see Robinson finishes right there.
Well, that's the reason why the crowd is going wild. Robinson gets on the score sheet. We have 2 points. All the players who've been in today for Wyoming have been able to score, other than Nigel Cook. Okay, Nigel Cook hasn't scored yet tonight. We'll take another look, and how about this move, huh? Off the window.
It's a tough move right there. Able to finish at the rim, and that's what you want to see. Anytime you get the opportunity, you got to take advantage of it.
Bird trying to get around Nesbitt, and Nesbitt is saying he actually grabbed him and wrapped him around, and that'll be a foul on Wyoming.
And Coach Wick didn't like the foul.
Yeah, and I think
you don't want to put him on the foul line.
Especially with 49 seconds to go.
Left. So sometimes you just got to let him go and move your feet. You know, allow the little guard to get around him, and you knew you had the size on him, as you see coaches talking to Nesbitt.
He's coaching him pretty hard with 49 seconds to go. But again, this is one, like you said, this is what the non-conference games are for. And actually, Coach Wicks, he was mentioning how he didn't really care so much about the wins or losses. What he wants to do is see the effort. He wanted to see this team come into this game and said the main thing is this. I want our team to defend and rebound at a high level. That's the main thing. Rebounding, no problem today. They've done a great job.
Well, you know that you can't coach effort. Number one, you can be a great coach in the world. I don't care if you're John Wooden or whoever the case may be. If your team don't give you the effort, you can't coach effort. If you find yourself coaching effort, it's going to take you away from the things you need to do as a coach.
Kujanitz. Nesbitt with it with 10 seconds on the clock. To Cook. Nigel Cook. Can he get on the board? Just too strong. Rebound by Tennessee Rainwater. Under 20 seconds to go. Rainwater spinning. Layup. And one.
I tell you what, he looks really good.
Yeah, he does.
Today. Him and
Well, it gets to the point where if you're Coach John Judkins, you look at the film and
the move right there. That's a nice move right there. And if you're John, he's coming off the bench. He might have solidified. So, oh, no doubt about it. He's going to get more playing time. And he's not only playing time, he's done some real good things, knocking down wide open shots, getting to the rim, finishing strong at the rim. So, you know, there's a lot of things you can take away positive if you Coach Judkins. You know, some players you begin to see that you probably didn't give a chance to normal times. You're giving them more time now. And I tell you, he's opened some eyes for his coaching staff. I was sure going down the road, he's going to get more of an opportunity to play.
One more foul on Utah Tech with 13.3 seconds to go. Again, the Trailblazers will fall to 1-3. Their next game is going to be on the road on Friday against Utah. As for Wyoming, they'll improve to 3-1, and they'll play against Southeast Louisiana on Friday. First free throw is up and good by Wills. One of the things that Wyoming wanted to improve on today was at the free throw line, shooting 73%. Better than what they have done all season long, where they've only shot 56% coming to this game. Both free throws made, 17-point lead by Wyoming. Last possession here.
Thanksgiving is coming up. Some of these teams get a chance to go play in some of them island tournaments and enjoy their Christmas holiday, all about the student-athlete experience. And, you know, it's a pleasure working with you this season, Justin, as usual.
Always a pleasure, my brother, and a pleasure to see the Wyoming Cowboys with another victory at the Dome of Doom. An 86-69 victory over the Utah Tech Trailblazers. A tremendous victory by Wyoming. Coming off that loss against Texas Tech, they responded in a big way, getting a 17-point victory at home.
And that's how you're supposed to respond. Able to come back home, you put that one behind you. It shows that they didn't have amnesia, and this was the perfect opponent for them coming into this ball game. A lot of good things, a lot of depth they got. I'll tell you what, if the chemistry comes together and everybody begins to play, listen to Coach Wicks and the coaching staff, they have a bright future in the Mountain West Conference.
All right, let's quickly take a look at our leading scorers today. Kobe Newton with 19 points, 6 of 12 from the floor, 2 of 5 from downtown. Young man also had 4 assists, 2 rebounds. He is our player of the game. And then Agbim, only with 12 points, didn't need to go and exert himself too much. Had a solid day, 3 of 9 from the floor, 2 of 4 from deep. Also had 4 rebounds and 3 assists. One thing that would need to be cleaned up for Wyoming will be the turnovers. They had 16 turnovers today, one too many for Coach Wicks.
Not only that, they didn't play a real good defensive team in terms of pressure in the basketball. So a lot of those turnovers were mental errors. So I'm sure Coach is going to point that out as well. And they got to take care of the basketball going forward against the competition they're going to see on the schedule, non-league schedule.
Let's take a look at our final statistics, and as you can see, the rebound advantage was just huge for Wyoming. And also you can take a look at the points in the paint. 44 points in the paint for the Cowboys. Anytime you get something like that, you're going to have a good day.
No doubt about that. Anytime you get those amount of points in the paint, that means you get no paint touches. You know I'm an advocate about it because it's so important, you know, to do that as well. But for Utah Tech, 5 for 25 from the three-point line. As I mentioned, coming into the game, they're shooting 45% inside the three. So that may be a focal point for something that coach has to worry about in terms of getting his point to focus on. But if you coach Wicks, this is a great bounce-back game and a great game to build on for the rest of your non-league schedule going to play Southeast Louisiana.
He wanted to see his team defend and also rebound at a high level. They did just that as they got the victory, 86-69 over the Utah Tech Trailblazers. The Trailblazers fall to 1-3, and the Cowboys improve to 3-1. Our next game will be on the 21st as Utah State comes to town. Once again, our final score, 86-69, and that will do it for us. For my partner, Derek Jacobs, I'm Justin Adams saying so long from Arena Auditorium. A victory for the brown and gold, and everyone goes home happy. Have a great evening. God bless, and we will see you soon.
And happy Thanksgiving.